Hello, welcome to our group presentation about a case today. Today we'll talk about KidZania, shaping a strategic service vision for the future. So let's move into the content today. This is the first part, using service management's best practices or criteria. Which of the things KidZania is doing impresses to me the most and the least, and why? First of all, I'm talk about the most impressive practice. This is experiential learning model with industry partnership. The relevant criteria here, that is the service concept, customer experience, customer relationship, and the value co-creation and profitability. So what they doing? KidZania has developed a powerful service concept that revolves around experiential learning, where children performs um, real world tests, for example, like firefighter or pilots or surgeons in the realistic city-like environments. So, what elevates this concept is their deeper integration with over like 800 global and local brands, for example, like Coca-Cola, DSL, Nestle, or Walmart, which co-creates the experience by sponsoring and helping design each activity. What is impressive, first of all, is the service innovation. This approach goes beyond traditional edutainment by letting kids learning by doing. KidZania implements the experiential learning cycle, moving from concrete experience to reflection and application. Second is the brand authenticity. This is the industry partner provide real products, services, uniforms, and procedures, giving activities both realisms and educational depth. And the next one is co-creation of value. This is the textbook application of service dominant logics. The customers are the children's actively co-create value by engaging in the service, not just consuming it. And the last one is revenue synergy. Partners not only provide contents but also fund a substantial share of the capital investment and maintenance, reducing KidZania operation burden while boosting its brand equity. So this design achieves strategic alignment between educational purpose, customers engagement, and financial sustainability. It's making it a textbook example of a well-formed service concept executed through ecosystem collaboration. And next, we'll move on to the least impressive practices. This is the high operational complexity and staff turnover. The relevant criteria is the service delivery system, the HR management in the service, and also the consistency and scalability. What they're doing, that is, each KidZania location require around 318 employees, with approximately a 250 part-time supervisor responsible for delivering the core service experience. Although the company has a structured main training model via KZ's university and a lower turnover rate, that is um, 83% than the industry average, that is 120%. The complexities of service delivery remain high. But why is this problematic? It's impressive, but it's problematic. That is, first of all, is the high turnover and high risk. Even with training, the high employees churn negatively affects the service quality, especially when the frontline staff are critical in delivering scripted, emotionally engaging experience, and the operational overhead that is managing nearly 100 activity stations with rotating staff, maintaining logistics, safety, and storytelling elements lead to extreme operational coordination, especially in outdoor locations. And the last one is scalability challenge. As the KidZania scales globally, maintaining consistent service quality across culturally and mm, linguistically diverse markets as further risk local variations and capabilities may um, dilute the brand promise. The service management theory emphasized the importance of employee satisfaction and operational simplicity to achieve the consistency in customer experiences. The KidZania mm, reliance on the a labor-intensive, high-jump workforce make it vulnerable to fluctuations in the service delivery, especially as it expands to new market with um, very labor dynamics. And from the service management perspective, the KidZania excels in developing a high engaging and socially relevant service concept through experiential learning and brand partnership, a model that is not only delivers value to customer but also to business partners and society. However, its service delivery system, while emphasis is heavily depend on human capital and susceptible to operational inefficiencies. So, to ensure the sustainable growth, Kizania must invest more heavily in workforce retention, simplify operations, and explore the technical enhancement that support but do not replace the core human centric experience.
So for second question is what are the risks in this business? How does KidZania's management ameliorate them? So here are some of the few risks in KidZania's business. The first thing is market acceptance and changing preferences. So KidZania's success depends on children and families valuing educational role play over other forms of entertainment. So there's a risk that children may prefer digital and home-based activities. It will lead to lower attendance. The second thing is operational complexity and consistency. So running a realistic, interactive synthetic piece is complex and each work must deliver high-quality, safe, and consistent experiences, which become more challenging as the company expands globally. And the third thing is cultural and regulatory differences. So each new market has unique cultural norms and legal requirements, especially regarding children's activities, advertising, and safety. So next step in adaptations can lead to regulatory issues of new market fits. Moreover, it can be reached by the safety and security concerns. So, as a business serving children, any incident related to safety or security could severely damage kids' reputations and result in legal or regulatory consequences. And for the franchising model risks, so expanding through franchises can lead to inconsistent quality as franchisees may not always uphold Kidsania standards, potentially harming the brand. And also, what it over dependence on the brand partnerships. So Kidsania's model relies heavily on sponsorships from major brands who help design activity and provide financial support. So if these partners end or fail to attract new sponsors, both revenue and authenticity of the experience are at risk. So, how Kidsania's management ameliorates these risks? So, the first thing it will focus on experiential learning and innovation. So management continually updates activities to ensure they are educational, engaging, and relevant, helping maintain appeal as students' interests evolve. They also test new concepts like the automotive-based part in curriculum before wider rollout. And the second thing is has a rigorous training in standardization. So KidZania provides detailed script training and operational guidelines for the staff and franchisees to ensure consistent, high-quality experience worldwide. So this standardization helps maintain brand integrity as the company grows. And the third one is the local adaptation. So the company customizes its offerings for local cultures and regulations. For example, in some Middle Eastern markets, Kizani adapted activities to be inclusive of growth, reflecting local norms while promoting empowerment. Next is about the strong brand and corporate partnership. So KidZania offers sponsors significant involvement in activity designs and branding, making the partnership mutually valuable and helping to retain and attract new sponsors. So this also ensures activities remain realistic and relevant. And the fifth one is emphasis on safety and security. So the use of RFID enable IT bracelets, secure entry exit protocols, and constant supervisions ensures child safety. So these measures not only protect children but also reassures parents, which is critical for maintaining trust and reputation. And also it has a careful franchise selections and support. So KidZania is selective in choosing franchise partners and provide them with ongoing training and support. So this helps maintain consistent standards and mitigates risks of brand dilution and for the corporate social responsibility. So the company offers discount for low-income families and ensure accessibility for children with disabilities, which helps broaden its appeal and manage reputational risk.
And now we will move on to question number three. What do you think are the main challenges and implications being faced regarding the changes in the service concept of Kidzania Center on Experiential Learning? So, here are some challenges that Kidzania had to face in shifting to experiential learning. So, first, we have to talk about increased complexity in the servicescape design. Transitioning to experiential learning require them to create immersive educational environments that go beyond basic role plays. For example, spaces now need to stimulate real-world social issues like shopping as a visually impaired person or learning about clean energy. This significantly increase the design complexity, requiring larger spaces, specialized equipment, and more detailed coordination with industry partners. And it also raised initial setup costs and slowed the rollout of new parts. Next, experiential learning must feel like play to be effective. The servicescape here to deliver educational content subtly through engaging activity. If the environment leans too much toward formal education, it could reduce kids' enjoyment and discourage their repeat visit. On the other hand, if it's too fun focused, the learning impact is weakened and make it harder to differentiate from regular entertainment venues. Next is about the cultural and personality-based variability. According to servicescape theory, individuals respond differently to physical surrounding depending on mood, goals, personality traits, and cultural norms. So KidZania operates globally from Tokyo to Dubai to London, each with distinct social values and expectations. This means that they must heavily customize its servicescape for each market. It creates operational complexity and limits the abilities to scale standardized design across multiple locations. Continue with the challenges that Kizania has to face is the increased pressure on the employees. With experiential learning, the supervisor are no longer just activity guides. They become learning facilitators. They must now manage group dynamics, explain complex concepts, and engage children emotionally. This raised the bar for recruitment and training. Staff must be more skilled, increasing labor costs, and poorly trained staff could also damage the quality of the experience, making it less impactful or even frustrating for the children. Next is about the technology integration. This could help some of the challenges like older children are digital natives and their servicescape must increasingly incorporate interactive technologies. However, the Kizania's philosophy emphasizes hands-on and human-centered role-play. Integrating technology without turning the experience into a screen-based one is a major design challenge. Poor implementation could reduce the value of interpersonal learning and reduce the Kizania differentiation from typical digital games or education technology tools. And the last one is the operation and the finance problem. So expanding experiential learning facility could require more square footage, more full-time and part-time staff, and also complex logistical coordination for activity that involve health, environment, or social citizenship. This makes each new location more expensive to launch and operate. It may also limit Kizania's ability to expand into smaller market or lower income regions, affecting global growth strategy.
Moving on to the implications of the shift to experiential learning at KidZania and some recommendation to cope with that implications. The first one is the increased cost and complexity in service design. What can be coped with leveraging technology to create a fluid and seamless service touchpoints. The context given here is that KidZania is transitioning from a simple role-playing model to an experiential learning model. This shift requires designing more complex and immersive spaces, such as stimulation or teaching about other issues like clean energy, disabilities, or real world challenges. The challenge is going to be the higher cost, creating these educational spaces with immersive, hands on experiences requires more resources, larger spaces, and specialized equipment. This increases initial setup costs and the complexity of expansion. The solution is that, take an own example for demonstration that many job role playing takes enormous spaces for simulation sets. For example, the firefighter role playing activity involved kids pretending to put out fires in controlled space. It was engaging. However, due to safety and space limitation, many helpful activities couldn't be executed, such as like turning off a burning gas tank or rescuing people stuck inside a burning smoky house, for example, which is really practical but cannot be done due to safety protocols. Additionally, it didn't involve much education about the science behind fire prevention, safety protocols, or the causes of fires. So, to improve the firefighter experience, for example, KidZania could integrate technology to simulate real life fire scenarios with VR or AR. Kids could put on a fire in simulated burning building using virtual reality goggles where they're not only extinguish the flames but also get a tutorial about fire safety, the science behind prevention, and how firefighters manage emergencies. Yet this can apply in any other job simulation, not just firefighter. And improved experience is that this solution reduces the need for large physical spaces while adding an educational component. It also enhances the realism and interactivity, allowing kids to make decisions under pressure and learn the critical aspects of fire safety, making the experience more realistic and educational. The same with other job simulation and integrating seamless technology tools that are non-intrusive but provide enhanced learning experiences could create a smooth blend of physical and digital environments. Technology shouldn't dominate; instead, it should complement and elevate the physical experiences kids are already enjoying. Another example is that KidZania could incorporate augmented reality, so-called AR, into activities like the astronaut roleplay, for example. Rather than just stimulate space or on a screen, kids could use AR glasses to see constellations and space stations and interact with virtual planets and galaxies as they participate in the space mission. This creates a multi-sensory learning environment without compromising the real-world action kids are engaged in. So the same space would, but you could leverage the customer's experience into a whole new level that is holistic. And this AR service touchpoint would provide a richer, more interactive learning environment as well, allowing kids to visualize concepts like space, anatomy, engineering, manufacturing, all while remaining deeply involved in the real world activities and the safety protocols. The tactile interaction of role playing is enhanced with digital tools, creating a more engaging and memorable experiences. So the second implication is the redefining the role of immersive environments in service delivery. The context is that as KidZania is evolved towards experiential learning, it needs to create environments that go beyond traditional role playing. So kids aren't just there to pretend; they need to interact with their environment in different ways that challenge their understanding of the world, like their current understanding. Yeah, and but the challenge is that immersive service design can take on new dimensions. So rather than simply having kids play firefighter, doctor, pilot, these spaces should become active learning hubs where kids solve problems, make decisions, and feel the real consequences of the action for more engagement. Imagine transforming the firefighter experience into a decision making simulation. So children could face complex scenarios like a building on fire where they have to decide whether to evacuate a family, save pets, or rescue property. Yeah, or actions like which to prioritize, what to do, due to the information given to them. Each choices could lead to a different outcome, teaching them about risk management, leadership, and the importance of quick thinking in the high stakes environment and actual scenarios that comes with certain jobs that is they're gonna play. This creates a service environment that is not only educational but also emotionally engaging. Children learn critical thinking and problem solving while enjoying the thrill of doing that practical job. It also creates a lasting impact because they understand the stakes of their decision in a safe control setting. The third implication is creating a personalized learning path for kids. The context is that in KidZania, the activities are generally predefined, with each child picking a profession to role play and go on according to what they want. Not in any path, not in any set journey. So it's not really planned. However, as KidZania shift to experiential learning, it needs to make the learning experience more personalized to match each child's interest and learning pace and make it a helpful experience that will help them and their parent in identifying their strengths and preferences to gain a deeper engagement and um, a sense of this actions, this KidZania is really helpful for the children rather than just entertainment. But the challenge is that a more personalized learning journey would require the development of individualized service delivery path that can cater to the unique learning needs and interests of the child. This can result in an increased operational complexity as KidZania must adapt activities to allow for flexible learning pathways for all visitors, making a very complex framework for staff to catch up, follow, and guide the kids. So KidZania can introduce digital learning passport for each kid that can sort them into reasonable paths, like different paths that are more planned. As children complete activities, they earn digital badges or achievements which could unlock more advanced learning stages. For example, a child who excels in the nurse role could unlock a new activity related to like flight attendants, for example, because they are within the path of like jobs about helping people. While another child who performs well in car design may unlock a fashion design challenge within the path of creative jobs. Yeah, like that. And with a glimpse of the digital passport, any staff could know each kid's current career path and guide them according to a unified framework for that specific path. Kids and parents can also have a better understanding of what kinds of the jobs the kids prefer or the kids excels at, making it more than just an entertainment experience. And could develop greater engagement and approval from parents, like the one that actually pay for the service. And kids will feel more engaged with activities tailored to their specific interests as well. It will enhance the relevance of the activity, encouraging deeper understanding, deeper learning, while still maintaining the fun, exploratory nature of the experience. This personalized approach ensures that every visit feels unique, with continuous opportunity for growth and challenge. The final implication is to make the staff as learning facilitators to elevate the service experience. So the context is that the supervisor, which is how they call the staff, are crucial to the success of the service experience as they guide children through role play activities. With the shift to experiential learning, supervisors need to evolve from being merely activity monitors to learning facilitators. How come? So, training and equipping supervisors to not only manage activities but also mentor kids in experiential learning would add significant complexity to the staff roles. This shift requires a more skilled workforce and changes in the training process to align with educational role. So, KidZania could implement post-activity reflection sessions led by supervisors. After each activities, children could participate in a debriefing session where they discuss what they learned, what they like, how they apply the skills, and how the experience related to real-world scenarios. For example, after completing a medical role play, children could talk about the emotional challenge for caring for patients, the importance of teamwork in a medical teams, and the social impact of healthcare. This mentorship and guided reflection not only enhance learning outcomes but also deepens children's emotional and intellectual engagement towards the activity in KidZania. Supervisors becomes key figure in shaping the learning journey, helping kids connect their hands-on experience to real-world knowledge and skills while maintaining a very fun and engaging experience.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I'd like to discuss a critical strategic question facing KidZania's management. Given the company's extensive experience operating their current parks, along with the external pressures they face, we need to establish clear criteria for selecting activities in future cities. First and foremost, there must be alignment with core experiential learning goals. Any activity we select must fundamentally support KidZania's experiential learning framework. This means focusing on both general learning objectives, such as understanding how a city works, developing financial literacy,
exploring the world of work, fostering model citizenship, and building good habits, as well as specific learning outcomes like expertise development, value promotion, and skills enhancement. Moreover, these activities should emphasize learning by doing rather than passive observation. Research consistently shows that this approach leads to higher recall and engagement among children. Additionally, real world relevance is absolutely key here because activities should authentically mimic adult roles and societal functions to maximize both educational value and engagement. Secondly, we must consider the local market adaptation and cultural relevance. This is particularly crucial as KidZania expands into diverse markets. Activities must be carefully tailored to local interests, cultural norms, and regulatory requirements. For instance, some activities may need to be adapted or completely replaced to respect local customs or laws. We've seen this in practice with considerations around the gender roles in Middle Eastern markets, dietary restrictions in various cultures, and the prominence of local industries in different regions. To ensure we get this right, I recommend involving the local partners and children in the selection process. This approach ensures that the activities not only resonate with the target audience, but are also socially acceptable and culturally appropriate. The third criterion focuses on balancing between learning and fun. While education is central to our mission, we must remember that the activities need to be both educational and entertaining to maintain children's attention and satisfaction. The design process must carefully consider children's attention spans and development stages, ensuring that activities are age appropriate and genuinely engaging. Importantly, we should avoid over reliance on technology. While technological enhancement can certainly improve experiences, they should never replace the hands on role that forms the foundation of Kidzania's value proposition. Fourth, we need to ensure profitability and strong industry partnerships. From a business perspective, we should select activities that attract strong industry partners who are willing to invest in the design, upkeep, and continuous innovation of each activity. This is critical because partner contributions represents a significant revenue and capital source, typically accounting for 30 to 50% of our investment. Furthermore, activities should have clear sponsorship appeal, offering partners authentic, interactive brand integration that aligns with their values while enhancing the educational experience. Great examples of this include Walmart's blind awareness activity in Jafra Cosmetic Lab. We must also consider the operational costs, required space, and staffing requirements for each activity to ensure financial viability and scalability across different locations. Finally, we need to focus on competitive differentiation and switching barriers. In an increasingly competitive market, we should choose activities that are difficult for competitors to replicate. This might include activities with unique industry partnerships, high quality staff training programs, or proprietary experiential designs that we have developed. Additionally, we should build customer loyalty through unique experiences, loyalty programs such as KidZania's existing citizen passport system, and social bonds that make it less likely for families to switch to competitors. And the remaining 4 points of view will be presented by Fook and
And next, we move to compliance with market regulations. Firstly, it's crucial that all activities comply with local regulations, especially those related to marketing to children and safety standards. Activities should be designed in a way that can withstand scrutiny from both regulators and parents, always emphasizing educational value over pure commercialism.
And next, when it comes to technology, it should be integrated thoughtfully. The goal is to enhance, not replace, real world interaction and learning. For example, tools like RFID bracelets can improve safety and engagement, while simulators can add realism to jobs like piloting. And importantly, for older children, technology can increase the realism and complexity of activities, but it should still focus on promoting social interaction and teamwork. Moving on, activities must be accessible to all children, including those with disability. This is key to both maximizing market reach and staying true to KidZania's value of inclusivity and social responsibility. Some good examples include the blind awareness supermarket experience and hiring staff with disabilities to serve as role model.
And finally, activities should be designed to encourage repeat visit and long-term engagement. This can be done through progress-based system. For instance, kids can earn higher salaries, unlock new roles, or level up in this career. These activities should also align with the broader customer journey, transforming a first-time visitor tourist into a repeat visitor citizen who is more engaged and loyal over time. This approach strengthens the use of KidZania loyalty program and foster deeper brand attachment among both children and parents. So, in summary, KidZania should select activities that are educational, impactful, locally relevant, fun, financially sustainable, attractive to industry partners, compliant with regulations, technologically enhanced, but not dominate, inclusive for all children, and supportive of long-term engagement. This approach leverages their service marketing strengths, customer experience management, relationship building, loyalty creation, and differentiation, ensuring both experiential learning excellent and profitability in diverse markets. And so this is the end of our presentation. Thank you for your listening.